Ladies and gentlemen, I came to the United States at the invitation of President Barack Obama. I had a very good meeting with the President. The end results have been put out in a joint statement, and our officials have also briefed you about the outcome of that meeting. In New York, I addressed the General Assembly of the United Nations, and I also had a useful talk with Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, Sheikh Hasina, and the Prime Minister of Nepal. I believe the outcomes of all these meetings you have been briefed about by our officials, and therefore I will not spend my time on going over the same territory over and over again. I will be very happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Jagdish Chandra. Jagdish Chandra, PTV Network. So you are sounding very cheerful this morning. So you had a very successful meeting with President Obama, and everyone in America believes that you share an exceptional personal rapport with the American President. So my question is that what is the specific outcome of your discussions with the President, especially in the area of defense cooperation?
Well, in the area of defense cooperation, we are trying to move away from the buyer-seller relationship to a relationship based on co-production, based on co-research, and the outcome of the deliberations on defense cooperation is in line with our own thinking. We would like our own domestic industry to get involved in domestic production. We would also like foreign direct investment to the extent of 26% to come into defense production. So I think this is a step forward. And for the rest, we reviewed our cooperation in the area of civil nuclear cooperation. There is now a early works agreement between Westinghouse and also our NPCIL. At the intergovernmental level, there are no irritants in the implementation. There have been important step forwards in cooperation in the field of knowledge initiative, in the field of education, in the field of energies, in the field of environment related issues. So in all these areas, it is an ongoing relationship, and we reviewed and we recommitted our two countries to work together to enhance understanding and cooperation.
Mihir Sharma, Business Standard. Mihir Sharma, Business Standard. Sir, Indo-US economic relationships have deteriorated somewhat, with US business actually lobbying the US government against to investigate Indian trade practices. Did you get any sense of the scale or reason for this disappointment in the US? And how will the Indian government be taking any steps to reassure US investors and business on your return?
Well, there have been US business concerns, but very largely these are concerns which arise out of the slowdown of the Indian economy. When Indian economy was growing at the rate of 8 to 9%, I think everybody was quite happy. Even when there were defects in our policy, they were overlooked. And when the economy slows down, people try to find fault excuses. the President did not go in detail with me. He did understand our concerns, but he also said that it is time that the CEOs forums on both sides sat together to discuss these issues and to find out the meeting ground.
Sir, Ajay from PTI. Sir, you met Mr. Nawaz Sharif and you said you had useful discussions with him. Sir, I will recall that after the incident on LOC, the beheading incident, you had said it can't be business as usual. So has that status changed or it's still?
Well, it has set a stage in the sense that we are moving forward towards normalization of our relations. And the first step have to be peace and tranquility on the line of control. And for that we have agreed that the DGMOs of the two sides will meet and work out arrangements. It will take time to find out what can be done and what is agreed upon, is it implemented upon. But these are all steps towards normalization of the relationship.
Prime Minister, this has been a week with many scheduled appointments, but also some unscheduled remarks, if you like. I'd like to ask you very specifically the Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi's comments on the ordinance came just a few hours before you met with President Obama. There were Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's reported comments just a day ahead of your conversation with him. I just want to ask you how you thought these unscheduled remarks impacted your meeting.
I've learned to take all these things in my strides, but Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has denied any such remarks.
Prime Minister Raj Jacob from the Tribune. While you were in the US, your party Vice President Rahul Gandhi trashed the ordinance your cabinet had just approved that gave immunity to serving lawmakers from conviction. Are you considering withdrawing the ordinance? Are you considering withdrawing the ordinance? Sorry. Can you hear me? Are you considering withdrawing the ordinance? Or given the offensive manner in which it was asked, as many felt undermined your authority, are you considering tendering in your resignation?
Well, I think I have seen Mr. Rahul Gandhi's statement. He has spoken, he has written to me on this subject also. And let me say that when issues are raised in a democracy, in a democratic polity, well, the right course is to start with in trying to understand what is it agitating the mind of the concerned people. And when I go back, I will discuss these matters with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He has asked for a meeting with me, and I will also take my cabinet colleagues also into confidence. We will see which way the wind blows.
You are not planning to resign on this matter?
Well, there is no question of resigning. I said I will put all these issues before my cabinet colleague. These are matters which were discussed before the highest body, the core group of the Congress party, the cabinet. The cabinet discussed these matters twice, not once. So, but it is always possible to change one's mind, and I'll consult my colleagues on all these issues.
Sir, the fact remains that as you just mentioned, can you hear me? So as you just mentioned, both the core group and the cabinet have cleared this contentious decision on the ordinance. My question is a bit philosophical about governance. Do you believe that one individual, no matter how senior he may be in the party, should have the space to actually undermine or question decisions that have been taken by party bodies, the cabinet and the core group? Do you feel that your authority, as someone who chaired that cabinet meeting, was undermined with Rahul Gandhi's sudden intervention which came belatedly?
No, I don't feel that way. I honestly feel that if there is an important point of view, any member of the Congress party, any member of my cabinet is free to raise issues and require reconsideration of issues. And I think that's what a democracy is about. I don't think we are an authoritarian structure in which one person lays down all the line all the way, and therefore my humble feeling is that when a point of view has been expressed, we must sit together, understand what is agitating the mind of the person who has raised these issues, and that's what we will do.
प्रकाश दुबे, दैनिक भास्कर से। पाकिस्तान से हमारे रिश्ते हमेशा चुनावी मुद्दा बनते रहे हैं, हर चुनाव में, विधानसभा हो या लोकसभा। आपने एक हिम्मत तो दिखाई, लेकिन क्या लगता है कि आने वाले वक्त में ऐसा कुछ हो सकेगा जिसका देश और पार्टी दोनों पे कोई असर पड़ेगा?
Well, we have whatever time is left to us. Our intention will be to see that the country's economy is better managed, growth rate improves, inflation is brought under control, and that the country's external borders are safe and secure. These are our immediate concerns, and they should be the concerns of any government. Plus, also I think we have now in place several people-oriented programs. We have to ensure that they are properly implemented. The National Food Security Act has been enacted, and it will be our effort to see that its benefits should reach the people as early as possible.
Sir, Neha Agarwal from Purvanchal, Rehli. Sir, Arunachal Pradesh has been given permission to build as many as 350 dams. The people downstream are very worried about the eventualities of this high number of dams. Can this number be reviewed and reduced?
No, I have not understood. Dams where?
Arunachal Pradesh.
Yes. Well, if you are referring to dams in Tibet, then we raised that matter with the Chinese government. Every time I have been to China in the last 3 or 4 occasions, we have raised this matter with the Chinese government, and as of now our understanding is that these are run of the river systems. They do not involve storage, and as such they do not interfere with the flow of water. But we will, as we have in the past, keep on drawing the attention of the Chinese government to have better cooperative arrangement to manage the rivers which are of interstate concern.
This is Vaidyanathan Dinamani from Chennai. Here, sir. The Sri Lankan sources in the UN told me that the President Rajapaksa was keen to meet you on the sidelines of the UN, and with the Tamil coalition having a stupendous victory in the northern Sri Lanka, should we not have used that opportunity to ensure that more devolution of powers are ensured for the northern province?
Well, as far as the devolution of more powers for the northern province is concerned, our views are well known. On umpteen number of occasions, we have discussed with the Sri Lankan government and the Sri Lankan President the need to implement 13th Amendment, and therefore our position is fully well known to the government of Sri Lanka. As regards the meeting with President Rajapaksa, I would have no hesitation in meeting with him. He asked for a meeting on dates which were not convenient to me, because I came to New York only on the 27th, and he asked for the meeting between 24th and 27th. So the meeting could not be arranged. There's no other reason.
Prime Minister, sir, sir, Jopi Thomas from Malayalam Manorama. Just wanted to know, do you think the emergence of Narendra Modi in the national scene is a threat to the secular polity of our country?
Well, I sincerely hope that all secular forces would combine to face the onslaught of people like Mr. Narendra Modi. I have every reason to believe that that will happen. You wait for some time before the people realize what they are up against.
Sir, this is Vishal Anandwaya Bhuttiga. Sir, I will ask you on Bangladesh.
I can't hear.
Your meeting with Sheikh Hasina, I just want to know, sir, that there is a discontent in Bangladesh that we are not, we have not achieved to implement Pakistan and land border. So in that context, your meeting with Sheikh Hasina, if you can enlighten us what you say.
Well, our relations with the Prime Minister of Bangladesh are very good. I am myself disappointed that it has taken us much too long to ratify that agreement, and I have assured her that we still have time. The next session of Parliament, we will make every effort to convince our opposition parties who have been a problem up till now to fall in line.
Vajpayee from UNI, do you think your 10 years performance is good enough for UPA 3 coming to power?
Well, it's too early for me to make an assessment. It's for the people to make an assessment, but I have every reason to believe we may have done something wrong, but we have done many good things, and the people of India, generous and tolerant that they will take into account the good work, the solid achievements of the UPA into account before they cast their votes.
वज़ीर आज़म साहब, अब आप हिंदुस्तान तो वापस जा रहे हैं, बहुत मुमकिन है कि आपकी काबीना का इजलास भी होगा, उसमें तेलंगाना का मसला उठाया जाएगा या डिस्कस होने वाला है, तो उस पर आप कुछ अपनी राय?
Well, the Telangana issue is receiving the attention of the government in right earnest. As soon as I go back, I will find out from the Home Minister what stage he has been able to reach up to. But this is very much on our mind.
Last question.
So, Pranab from Indian Express. Would you have preferred that the whole issue which Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised have happened while you were in the country, and it should not have happened while you were outside the country?
Well, I am not the master of what people say, and it has happened, and as I said, when I go back, I will try to find out the reasons why it had to be done that way, and how do we handle it.
Were you upset that it happened while you were away?
I think I have been used to ups and downs, and I don't get easily upset.
Was this a down?
Not even when you write it.
Javed, last question for you.
Mr. Prime Minister, you interacted. This was your first interaction with Mr. Nawaz Sharif. Did you get the impression that he is the master of his own destiny, or that he, like your foreign minister described, is being held back by the ISI and the Pakistan Army?
I very much hope that Nawaz Sharif succeeds. He is democratically elected Prime Minister of a neighboring country, and he has said all the right things about Indo-Pakistan relations. So I sincerely hope and pray that he does succeed in carrying out his mission.
Thank you very much.